Aquabo, welcome to Diana's channel. Trust everybody doing okay on the Sunday here. Guys, what I'm gonna go through with you briefly is to the question that's being posed to me. As I said, persons who want to connect, they can do so via my email, which is jatoghana at gmail.com. jatoghana@gmail.com. And so the questions that we have coming in are persons out there in the diaspora, they are interested in obtaining land, right? And not everyone wants the land just for, say, building their home and moving into Ghana right away. They're looking at obtaining land for myriads of reasons. And that's a good thing. But what is key is that they have obligations where they presently live, where is home for them. And so the question is, can they start? Can they get the ball rolling? Because it's not always that easy to say, okay, I can get into Ghana at this time or not. And so that is where I come in and I advise them, certainly you can, right? You have persons, not everybody has retired or close to retirement. And so, making the trip to Ghana, as I tell persons straight up, try to see if you can come in for even 21 days, especially when you're coming to Ghana to look at, investing in Ghana. It's more of a working visit as well as exploring Ghana. But, try to ensure that you have at least 21 days. If you can't come for 21 days, then 14 days. Anything less than that, it's really not a lot of time. Because when you're moving from point A to point B, that can literally run you a whole day. And so with that in mind, again, the question, can we start something now? And I'm yes. And so I'm facilitating someone out in the diaspora. And basically what we are is that looking, obtaining land and taking it from there. Now, what I must point out is, when Diane comes in to facilitate someone, you hear the horror stories, but I would say for every horror stories, there are success stories or stories where persons have no regrets about what they're pursuing here in Ghana. And that is where I tend to focus on, because oftentimes when we are walking, we need to slow it down a bit. We don't know the system here. It takes time to try to understand the system. And that is not going to take place in 2 days, right? And also the language, that is something, communication is key. And so you may see something online and it really is not a 1, 2, 3, 4. And so with Diane S. being based here in Accra, I say to those persons who I'm facilitating, if you see something online, then okay, where I come in is to try to do as much due diligence as possible. I will ask you to go back through my vlogs and you will see where I did 2 one-on-ones. One with Kofi Anko, who is, I refer to him as a real estate bungle here in Ghana. And that one-on-one was extremely in-depth, I would say. And he speaks to what it really is about, once you're trying to obtain land and some of the nuances that you may encounter. And also about building. Also, you have Royal Kingdom. And those guys know exactly what they are doing. They're real estate developers. I had a one-on-one with the general manager. And he spoke on the issue of chiefs or kings owning land. And that process that you go through. And kind of how their entity, how they take care of that, right? How Royal Kingdom addresses that. And so in keeping it simple, if I can, is that one of the things that I have to find out Yes? Is if the land is owned by a chief, king, or is it family owned, right? And those are pertinent questions. After that, there are some other questions that I ask and obviously need to see one or two things in taking it to the next level, right? After we get to the next level, then you have to sort out the paperwork and there are costs that are associated with that. And so it is not a walk in the park. It's not like what you do in the West. This is Ghana, Africa. Things are done differently. And so for me, we have to take our time to go through and ensure that all is well. Okay? And so therefore it requires lots of movements. Lots of movements. Once that is done, and then we look at, obtaining your lease or indenture, right? And at some point in time, you have to get here to Ghana. But while you're away, of course, you can be facilitated because you're talking about your land may need to clear. There are certain things that you need to do once you have obtained that land, because I remember I addressed nobody wants to be surrounded by bush, especially when you have developments going on around you. And so with that in mind, I am saying to the diaspora out there, be very reasonable and understand that while all of these things can be worked on your behalf, it's not a 1, 2, 3 in all cases. And obviously there's costs associated with that in terms of expenses, etc. But it is doable. And as a matter of fact, I strongly recommend that because living in Ghana now for 2+ years, there are persons who have connected with me on the channel from I launched it in April 2022, and circumstances beyond their control, they have not made it to Ghana as yet. So that is real. So if you see where there are opportunities here for you in Ghana, but you physically cannot make it in this moment, get the ball rolling, start things going on in order that you can obtain, right, and acquire 1, 2, 3. Because I am telling you, many others who are not African descent are doing so. And I really like to say, let us not one day say I shoulda, coulda, woulda. So that is a big thing that I find persons really want to know. And I'm saying, yes, you can. Again, there are many other opportunities I see here. One of the things that I will say is whatever you will make a comment and say, how come? Then I say that's an opportunity for you to look at once you get in to Ghana eventually. So guys, that's it. Just a little quickie here on the Sunday. I wish you all the best. Have a happy Sunday. And again, if you're interested in obtaining land, yes, whether it is for building home or you have some other project that you want to do, yes, you can start right now and then we will do the legwork. Okay? Have, again, a wonderful Sunday. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you. Merase. God bless.